What's up YouTube? It's your boy Jay with Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews, and that's right, I'm back with another one. Today I'll be reviewing MMS 701 D56 C-3PO from Star Wars Return of the Jedi by Hot Toys. Let's check it out. Let's remove the slipcover. And because this is the 40th anniversary edition, you're treated with all this retro Kenner style art, which really looks good. You can see each panel right here. You see C-3PO and the Death Star in the back with a little bit of C-3PO story right here. Turn it on this side right here, you see the Return of the Jedi logo. Also with Salacious Crumb and C-3PO right there, looking very cool. And then on this side right here, you just get the Star Wars logo and the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi logo right there as well. Looking at this window box right here, it gives you a sneak peek of the figure, and it is magnetically attached with this flap. And when you open it up, you see more of the figure. Okay guys, let's take a look at everything that comes with the figure. First up, let's take a look at this hand right here. And yes, it looks fantastic. And I believe these are the same sculpted hands that came with the Attack of the Clones version of C-3PO. So, you know, you kind of know what you're getting, but that gold just looks great. And definitely that, we just go ahead and focus on it. There it is. The back of the hand, you see the black where the glove is, and it just looks fantastic. Looks very, very good. I'm not going to show all of the hands. I just want to show, you know, mainly the important accessories. So you get this pillow right here, and we all know who this pillow is for, and we all know who this pillow is from, so it looks good. And yes, this is sculpted plastic, and it looks really good. Looks good for Salacious B. Crumb. Yes, looks great. Put that down right there. Speaking of Salacious, we'll just go ahead and pull him out. And man, he looks fantastic. This little evil bastard looks great. Just look at him. Real good looking piece. Well sculpted. It just looks damn good. And he does have some articulation, as you can see right there. Oh, go ahead, focus in. There he is. And as you can see, he does have some articulation, and he looks great. Real good looking creature. I'm always happy when we can get Star Wars creatures. So he looks great, he looks good. And we'll take a closer look at him later. Now we also have this feature right here for the C-3PO. You have the Papa C-3PO, but a lot of people in the community are calling him the Dick Eye C-3PO. So yeah, it looks cool. You see that eye hanging out because Salacious B. Crumb has been getting at it, and it looks fantastic. Great sculpting, and this is probably the sculpt I'm going to go with because, you know, I want my C-3PO to be a little different since I have 3 of them. So yeah, that looks great. See back there, that's where the light up function goes in. So there you go. But yeah, man, it looks great. Looks good. Let's put him right there. Now for what we all want to see is the man himself. And wow, this thing has some weight to it. Yes, it does. It has some weight to it. Yes, there you go. C-3PO in all its glory. Looking amazing. And this thing for some reason feels a little heavier than the Attack of the Clones version to me. I don't know, maybe it's just, you know, my imagination, but it really does feel a little heavier. But there he is with all his glory and gold, all his golden glory, and he just looks fantastic. All right, guys, let's get him on a turntable and really get a good look at him. Also, I almost forgot to mention, we get this new platform base right here, and it looks great, looks amazing. It doesn't light up or anything like that, but it definitely gives some height to the figure, and I think this looks amazing. I think it looks great. Now, if you're a Detolf collector, you're probably not gonna like this that much because it does add more height to the figure, and depending on what shelf you have it on, if it's not on the top shelf, it kind of cuts off the top of the head of the figure when it's this tall. But if you got it in like a garage shelf or a Maji case or something like that, this will give you some extra lift so you can have figures posed in front of it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I like it. Think it's cool. I do wish I kind of wish it lit up, but it doesn't. But yeah, for what it is, it looks great. You get that metal plate right there, which is not metal, it's really just reflective, but you get Star Wars C-3PO right there, so that's good. And this up here is not sculpted, or is it sculpted? Actually, no, it is sculpted. I thought it was a sticker, but yeah, this little pattern right here is actually sculpted in, and man, I think it looks great. And here he is in all his glory, C-3PO from Return of the Jedi. And I gotta tell you, this thing is phenomenal. Yes, it really looks great. Now guys, this is the one we were all waiting for, okay? This is the C-3PO, the goldenrod C-3PO we all been waiting for. You kind of look at the Attack of the Clones version, it's almost like a sneak preview of this one. And this Attack of the Clones one, as good as it is, and it is damn good, it's just not the golden C-3PO. So yes, this thing is a must-have, and it just looks great. Let's start off looking at the feet right here. The feet are amazing. It's exactly what you expect from C-3PO. Moving on up, the legs and the shin guards look fantastic. Just looks great. Once again, we have that weathering detail all through there, which just look rusted and weathered and damaged. Like I said, this thing has been out in the sand, just being thrown around and beaten up, and it really looks that there. Moving up to the top of the shin, of the thighs, looks great. Really looks good. Now, it's not that much mobility there, as it wasn't that much mobility in the actual costume. So, you know, you gotta really look at that right there for what it is. It's just, it lacks articulation because he's a droid. You look at those, you look at that screw right there, which I never really noticed in C-3PO's costume, but you got that screw right there. Not sure how accurate that is, but I believe it is. And it looks good. Then you got the torso there with all the wires. And yes, the wiring in the torsos are way different than the wiring that we got in the Attack of the Clones edition. Way different. So it looks great. I love how they're attached. This ain't no, you know, sculpted plastic, molded plastic. These are actually actual wires, and it looks good. Just brings in the realism, really does. Then you look at the top part of the torso right there. It looks fantastic, looks amazing. Once again, it's weathered and beat up to all shit. Then you look at the arms on the pistons look amazing. They look fantastic. Once again, looking at those hands where you can see the black gloves that were there, that were part of the costume, hiding, you know, the human hands or whatnot. Looks great. They did an excellent job on that. Moving on up to the head sculpt. Now look, the head sculpt looks amazing. It looks like a C-3PO head sculpt. But once again, when you get that slight weathering sand effect all speckled out through it, just makes it look even more realistic. Like I said, this guy has been through some shit. He's been thrown around and everything, and you just see it there. And they just did a fabulous job all together with this piece. And here he is in all his glory, Salacious B. Crumb. Let me tell y'all a little story. I always hated this guy as a kid. He just irked me. I'm like, ugh. But it's like now I hate him so much till I kind of like him, which is weird, but I do. And I do love having a 1/6 scale version of Salacious Crumb. Yeah, like I said, he always irked me, and I just love when R2-D2 just shocked him and he just jumped to the roof. I just loved it. I was like, yeah, do it again. But man, I love what they have done with this figure. They done an excellent job. Now, I will say, the sculpting could be a little better. It's a little soft in certain areas, but hey, it's based off a puppet, so come on, man. You gotta give it a little bit of you gotta give it a little bit of a pass. But for what it is, it looks great. I think they did an excellent job on this piece. The articulation, everything is on point. The painting is even on point. You see his little beak. His beak looks wet and nasty, and yeah, man, just a nasty little character. And I'm so happy that they bundled him in with 3PO. It just gives more character to the release, and it's great because when you think about it, even though he's technically an accessory, he is a character, which makes this kind of a weird little 2-pack in a way. He is articulated. He has articulation. Now, if he wasn't articulated like a Grogu or something like that, then that I would say, hey, it's more of an accessory. And he is kind of like an accessory, but because it's a character, kind of makes it a 2-pack as well. So anytime I can get some Star Wars creatures, I'm always happy with that. So hey, this is a welcome to the set. Okay guys, so here it is. On the right, we have the brand new Hot Toys release. On the left, we have the Sideshow C-3PO release, which, to be fair, came out about 2015. Now, me personally, I got it back in 2020, and I thought it was a great stand-in for C-3PO. The box of this one is actually signed by Anthony Daniels himself, so this one will always have a special place in my heart. But comparing it to the Hot Toys version, it looks like a damn toy, let's be honest. From the paint applications all the way to the proportions, the dead giveaway is the actual wires that are in the stomach portion. The one on the Hot Toys look way more superior than the one in Sideshow. The Sideshow wires are actually just sculpted in, whereas the Hot Toys wires are actually rubber wires. So it really looks good. As I said, the proportions are much better in my opinion on the Hot Toys, even though the Sideshow version is a little taller. But I think Anthony Daniels, personally meeting him, he's not that much of not a real big guy. So it does make, I think the Hot Toys proportions are a little bit more accurate. Now let's go ahead and give it a spin around real quick so we can look at it from all angles. And look, the Sideshow version is still a good version to have, but the Hot Toys is just more superior in my opinion. So we'll just stop it right here. As you can look right there, the little backpack portions of each, it's the backpack portion on the Sideshow one is actually bigger and a little bit more defined than the Hot Toys version. But like I said, proportion wise, I think the Hot Toys version is more accurate in my opinion. Looking at those wires, the wires on the Sideshow one is just a mess and it's sculpted and just doesn't look realistic, whereas those are real wires on the Hot Toys version. So definitely, hey, it makes it look more realistic and it looks great. I will say the Sideshow one has more definition, the lines are a little bit more cleaner and everything in it, but hey, this Hot Toys version is supposed to look weathered and just a little slightly weathered and beat up. So definitely it's not as, the line work isn't as defined, but what you get overall, the quality looks amazing and looks stunning. So we'll just spin it around again so you can look more at the angles and just see everything. Yeah guys, I mean, I think the Hot Toys is the winner in this one, straight up. So if you guys are looking to upgrade or you're still rocking a Sideshow C-3PO, I think you should go ahead and upgrade to the Hot Toys version. Okay guys, so here we have both C-3PO releases from Hot Toys, and on the one on the left, this is the Attack of the Clones version. The one on the right is the brand new Return of the Jedi version. And yes, there are a lot of changes. There definitely are a lot of changes. And you know, I know a lot of people, when the Attack of the Clones version came out, a lot of people were saying that they were going to wait for the gold version. So if you really wanted that, you know, if you're a person that just wants one C-3PO in your collection, you would go with the Return of the Jedi version. Absolutely, this is the one to go with. But if you want something a little different and you want that C-3PO to be specific to the Attack of the Clones line, then you definitely want to get this one, or get both, because I'll tell you, they both are magnificent. I really love the Attack of the Clones version because it is so unique. We have never got a 1/6 scale C-3PO figure like this before. I mean, honestly, this looks fantastic. Now, as I was saying, I do feel that I really have a C-3PO now that I have this more traditional golden edition. So definitely, that's how I feel about it. But if you look at both of them, yeah, it's pretty much built off the same mold when you look at it. It's the same pieces when you look at them all together. The only big difference really is the wiring. The wiring is completely different, as you can see right there, completely different. But outside of that, it's mostly painting. So some people would say that the new version is a repaint, and it definitely kind of is, because all the pieces are pretty much the same. The molds, that is. But outside of the wires and the painting, that's what makes it different. And of course, a couple of the parts and everything, a couple of the accessories make it different. Okay, so here's what the people want to see. On the left, we got the Sideshow C-3PO. On the right, we got the Attack of the Clones version. And right up front, we got the newly released Return of the Jedi. And I love all three of these. But if you had to ask me, yes, the C-3PO Sideshow Edition has been pushed away. Yes, you don't need this one. You don't need this one at all. The one you need is this one right here, right in front. Yes, the Return of the Jedi, in my opinion, is the best C-3PO. If you're only gonna get one, this is the one to get right here. Now, I know a lot of you will probably like, but what about the Tamashii Nation one? I ain't got the bucks for the Tamashii Nation one. So a lot of us don't. But so for the ones that you can obtain, I think the Return of the Jedi version is the best one to go with. Now, let me tell you, the Attack of the Clones version is still great and probably one of my favorite figures in my collection, just because I love the collectors and the weathered die cast. It just looks great. It's a great art piece. But if you are not if you're not like an Attack of the Clones fan, if you're not going all in on the Attack of the Clones line, I would say just get the golden Return of the Jedi C-3PO. Okay guys, so that's been my review of MMS 701 D56 C-3PO from the Return of the Jedi Star Wars by Hot Toys. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a solid 10. That's right, I'm giving this figure a 10. This thing is simply amazing. This is the C-3PO we have all been waiting for. Now, don't get me wrong, the Attack of the Clones version is really good and is a great C-3PO, but this is the traditional one that we all wanted, and it just looks great. The paint work, the artistry of it, the box, the wires in the stomach, even the limited articulation, it is screen accurate. He wasn't even able to move in that suit like that, so this is accurate. The different face sculpts, come on, you get Salacious B. Crump in here as well, come on. This is a great package and a great figure, and that is why I am giving it a 10. Now, that's my opinion, but let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, bang that bell for notifications, and all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, and we are out.